What is up, YouTube land? We're back with some MGR. I forgot that it was.
Yeah, I guess it is MGRR.
I was gonna say MJRV Vengeance, but it's Revengeance. Okay, we're gonna finish off this game, right? We're gonna finish it.
Yeah, there's not too much of this actual game left. In fact, this stage that we're doing, I completely forgot about it. But you're literally just running through the pre-monsoon fight stage again, and you're just backtracking through like half of it. It's just like weird padding.
Yeah, like they were like, it's a little too short. Let's just add this one part. Let's go. So how's everyone doing today? I hope you're comfy wherever you are. And if you're not currently comfy, I hope you're able to get comfy. Because when we think about it, what's more important than being comfy? Name 3 things.
Having a house you can live in.
But that's part of being comfy.
I guess so. But good news, I think I mentioned this last week, but we got approved for a decent amount of rent, so we can find something for at least a year. It's not ideal, but we aren't going to not have a home, which is awesome. I love America.
That's a whole thing. It's a shame because Trev could have stayed in this glorious basement.
I don't want to do that. I'd feel like the biggest burden in the world.
Oh yeah, considering how much we're home, which is not. Get it? Can you one-hit kill those things if you sneak up on them? Wow.
Although with Ripper mode, they're really not that hardcore. Well,
Ripperino, Ripperooski. Moo!
For whatever reason, that move does not take any damage unless you fail the quick time event, which is pretty much impossible.
There's speaking of moves, there is a Facebook page called, I might have this like slightly wrong, but it's something like cows are the silent judge of the world. And I think every post they just post cows are the silent judge of the world. And I'm like, whoa. It kind of is true. They're just judging you. Sitting out in that field eating the grass.
This fight's going strangely poorly, but whatever. Can't even get a Zantatsu.
Well, it's because we're recording. You know how that goes. Did you just play this part today?
Yep.
Hiya!
At least I don't die against guys that aren't even that threatening.
So I would like to think that this would be a fun speedrun to watch, but with the way speedruns are, it's probably just doing the same thing over and over again, or like skipping a huge part of the game.
One thing I figured out is that you can deactivate Ripper mode while you're grabbing Electrolyte, which will not waste any of your bar, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
I did not know about that until like literally today.
Do you know what game you're doing after this?
Yes. Next thing I'm doing is going to take like 3-4 months.
What the beep?
And I'm pretty excited for it.
Oh, was it originally on the PS4, but now it's on the PS5?
Yes.
Okay.
We are playing the PS5 version.
Oh, so we get the extra character thing that I didn't do. Nice.
Yeah, we'll get to it, but that extra mode is pretty short.
I've had a chance for a couple PS5s, but
I barely use mine.
I play games so irregularly that it would be such a waste when someone could, like, really use it. I'm just like, whatever.
Like, the few, like, Sony exclusives just don't appeal to me. It's like Gran Turismo 7. I don't care about racing games almost at all. Horizon Forbidden West. Could not care any less about a game like that.
I think at this point, unless they had a new IP, the two games that would get me to get a PS5 would be the new Spider-Man, which I assume is, I don't know if it's officially announced, but I assume that it's a thing. And I hate to say this, but A Last of Us 3, I would have to play. But would it even come out on the PS5 generation? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know what Naughty Dog's going to do. Last of Us 2 really did not sell that well. Considering the budget. Like, it shipped like 4 or 5 million units, I think. But for like a game with a budget with probably had like $150 million budget. I mean, there's no like concrete numbers, but that game is so long and so ridiculous. It probably had a 9-digit budget.
Last of Us 1 sold so well, and then when Sony re-released it on the PS4 for $50 brand new, it still sold pretty dang well. I'm honestly surprised there hasn't been a Last of Us 2 PS5 version. Hey, we got a thing. Oh, or a new Resident Evil if it only went to the next gen. I would, especially with how much I love Village, I would really have to consider getting a PS5 by that point.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll do a PS4 version. I don't know. It's getting to the point where making a PS4 and Xbox One version for AAA games really limits the scope of them. Like, for example, Gran Turismo 7 just came out, which has a PS4 version, which makes the PS5 version look like a PS3 game. It's like one of the ugliest like AAA like racing games I've ever seen.
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again?
Gran Turismo 7 came out. It came out for PS4 and PS5.
Right.
And the PS5 version, because, I mean, they can't go and make two entirely different versions.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying it does not look good for the PS5.
Yeah, it doesn't even look good for the PS4, honestly.
Got it. And it's funny because that was always the main selling point in Gran Turismo, is that it like looks so good, you know? Even back in the day on the PS1 and PS2, that was like its big selling point, like how realistic and everything it was. That's why I'm super worried about the Xbox Series X, because like they're really pushing hard the fact that like these Series X games also work on Xbox One, and it really worked like I'm trying to think. Battlefield 2042 had a version for Xbox One only and a version for the Series X and Xbox One. But the Series X one, like I mentioned, can also play on Xbox One. So you're telling me you're taking the Series X disc of a game made in 2021 and popping it into original model Xbox One? Like, seriously? Like, backwards compatibility is cool, but backwards compatibility in the same generation is not cool. You know? Like, it's like Cyberpunk. When that came out, like, from everything I understand, it was like, if you have a PS4 Pro or Xbox One X, it'll be fine. If you have an OG model, don't even bother. Because it's just like, it's too much for the system to handle.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Xbox released the Series S, which is basically about the same spec as an Xbox One X, which isn't as bad, but it's going to limit the entire generation for Microsoft.
It's so weird.
Unless they just like drop support for the Series S, but they're not going to. The Series S exists as a $300 Game Pass machine. It gets people to subscribe to Game Pass. That's the only objective of that machine.
Yeah, at least the PS5 is like, the digital only one is literally the exact same thing without a disc drive, but
yeah.
Like, I don't understand what Microsoft's thinking with it, where they're like, oh yeah, that's fine. All these Xbox Series X games, just pop them in your Xbox One. It's like, what the hell? Like, that would be like being like, yo, this PS4 game, pop it in your OG fat model PS3. Oh, that's funny. I need your bike. The guy comes out and he goes, "Not again." Wait, a C? You got BSB and it was a C?
Well, I didn't do the fourth objective, which I don't even know what it was. Alright, having some health would be nice, but I also want to have damage for my blade. So I think if it didn't unlock. 20,000, 20,000.
I don't own an Xbox One, but like oftentimes I'll have to like set one up to like test one at the store, and there used to be like nothing that popped up, and now there's like minimum 2 things that pop up while you're setting up. That's like, "Hey bud, want Game Pass?" Huh?
Yeah, I mean,
huh?
That's what they think that is their entire business model at this point.
It's not a bad idea as like, and it's like a pretty good deal. But the simple fact that that's, like, the only thing they care about is, like, oh, man. Like, what if legit, like, so, like, the next Elder Scrolls, because Microsoft owns Bethesda, like, if it's
Everything okay on your side?
I am out of Colorado airspace and nothing on the radar.
Everything's fine.
Okay. If it's Xbox only, like,
Almost there.
it's not even going to be worth it to get, like, a disc of it, because they're just going to put it straight on Game Pass. And, like, stores are going to be like, okay, I don't really care about getting this.
Yeah, and one of the really sad things, the smart delivery discs, especially, like, something like Halo Infinite and a lot of the more modern Microsoft exclusives, the smart delivery disc basically has no code on it. So once the servers go down, like, once Microsoft stops supporting the Xbox, those discs will be worthless.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so Halo Infinite is basically just a DRM code on a disc. It detects what Xbox you have, and then it downloads the...
Having a little hard time. I have analyzed his words.
That's just the reality of having to support the Xbox One and Series X at the same time. I mean, Blu-rays have a limited amount of capacity, even if they use an Ultra HD disc.
Do the UHD discs, they have more space than normal Blu-ray, right?
Yeah, I want to say it's like...
The launch site.
It's definitely double the capacity. It might be like 4 times the capacity.
So, at this point...
Like you notice when, like, GT 7 or
Yeah.
Horizon Forbidden West has 2 discs for PS4, but only 1 for PS5.
I was going to say that. So, like, it's going to be... I think there was a time when PS4 came out where I was like, dude, what about the first Blu-ray double disc? And, like, at this point, it's, like, common for stuff coming out, you know? But it's going to be, like, even weirder when it's,
common
like...
for years now. Like, Red Dead 2 did it.
Yeah.
That was 2018?
Yeah. Nothing will beat some of those 360 games that use 4 DVDs.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein: The New Order, good game, 4 discs. Why?
And the saddest thing is that 4 discs is still less capacity than 1 Blu-ray.
R.I.P.
This fight's pretty fun.
I don't care who thinks I'm right. And I've got cause enough for killing you. Oh, good. Why, that's very good. Yes, I like that. Must you really fight?
This guy's a pretty good character in general. Like, for being on a one-off thing. Like,
Don't interfere.
well, there's no other Metal Gear
Yeah,
games,
he's like
but-
the secondary antagonist, I guess, but he just wants to fight.
This is between us.
There's a...
It is weird that he's on Desperado, but I guess it's just that he is on that faction just so he can fight more.
That's, it reminds me of, like, some, like, RPGs, like, Final Fantasy characters, like, maybe Shadow from Final Fantasy 3, where it's just like... I just want to fight because I want to prove myself.
Yeah.
And then when they lose, they're like, I'll join you, you know?
The only DLC that they ever made for this game is a Sam, like, campaign.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm not going to do it because I don't want to spend money. Also, I don't really like this game that much.
Yeah, Trevor pretty much did just do this game because of me. Because I've been, like, once in a while being like, oh yeah, I want to see Horizon. And the funny thing is, this, for our channel, is definitely considered like a newer game. Because I know once in a while people are like, when are you going to play newer games? And we're always like, newer games are 80 hours long. But Trevor's going to do it starting next week.
Yeah, it's just the reality of new games are just so long. We have like 2.5 hours a week at max if we don't cancel. It's like, that's just the reality of Spencer being a business owner and a dad. This is all the time we have.
Rip. COVID was the best because we literally did it sometimes. I swear to God, at some point we were doing 3 times a week. And it was amazing. I did Killer 7 in like 2 weeks. Whereas normally that would take me, like, way longer. What should I do for my next game?
You should do... I want to see some obscure horror thing.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I looked it up the other day. Someone was like, hey, do you have Harvest Moon for Super Nintendo? And do you know what that game's going for now?
I bet, like, loose, it's like $300.
It's like $400.
Yeah.
That's crazy! Like, that's unbelievable for a game that, like, I guess it's just one of those things where I always think of it as, like, a childhood thing. And I'm like, wow. People really want that original Harvest Moon. I was thinking either some obscure horror thing, which I have plenty to choose from. I was also considering another one of the Saga Frontier characters. I forget who I've done already. Did I do Loot? I feel like I did do
Yeah,
Loot.
I think you did.
So I did Red, Loot, Amelia, and... So I just have, what, Blue, Acilis, and T260. Oh, those are all longer ones. And I wanted to do Blue as the last one. Oh, I gotta remember to bring a microphone home tomorrow so I can test out that Lifeline game. And just have the worst LP of all time where I'm just yelling at a character to move. Move! Hey you Pikachu, move!
Yeah, I know that game is a microphone game, but I have no idea how it plays. Obviously, it's some sort of, like, sci-fi thing. I think it takes place in, like, orbit, like, in a space station, maybe?
I could also do a Silent Hill game. I still have, what, 3 and Downpour? Is that it? No. Yeah, I did 1 and 2. I did 4.
Yeah, you did Shattered Memories.
Origins. And Homecoming. Yeah, I just have 3. Well, I gotta say...
you never finished 4.
Maybe I should just play through that game and be like, here it is!
It sucks, but it's just like... If you have, like, a bad second half and, what's her name, Aline?
Yeah.
If she gets damaged too much, it's, like, impossible to get the good ending.
Yeah.
He barely had any cyborg enhancements.
He's
Was
humano.
this outcome necessary? Evidence inconclusive.
What?
Is the
I guess even
Is the
AI
thing still
doesn't
doing it?
know everything.
I don't know why it's making all these noises.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Answer
Huh.
exists.
I think when it made a noise, it was, like,
Human conflict stems
Wi-Fi
from
related.
ideals and
Uh,
societal norms. I was not programmed with these
What was I gonna say?
guidelines.
Yeah,
I did restart the computer, too, so...
I
it
could
should
do
be good.
Downpour so we could all just be mad all the time.
Yeah, maybe... Yeah, do Downpour. I don't remember a single thing about that game. I think you play as, like, a prisoner,
Yeah.
and an orb chases you sometimes. That's all I remember.
I remember the open world parts, which are actually pretty cool, but then it's like the same enemy over and over again.
Oh, yeah, and, like, the setting is more, like, Twin Peaksy
It's
than
very
ever.
trippy. Oh, what about Deadly... Oh, no. Deadly Premonition's a pretty slow game, though.
Yeah, I'll probably do Deadly Premonition one day.
It's a shame. It really, truly is a shame that, like, horror games are so specific and so expensive. Like, everyone should have a chance to, like, play, like, all the Silent Hill games, and it's, like, really stupid that, like, Silent Hill 2's, like, $100. Like, it's a classic, and
Yeah.
everyone should be able to play it. Like,
It's just the reality of Konami not wanting to re-release anything, and the HD collection on both PS3 and 360 being garbage.
yes.
Roger that.
And PS2 emulation not being the greatest, so you can't even emulate it easily.
Sigh.
So it's just like the
So wait,
trifecta of...
GameCube emulation's like really good,
Yeah.
right? But PS2 isn't a weaker system. Wait.
Well,
PS2 is weaker than
the
GameCube?
PS2 is a weaker system, but the architecture is really, really awkward. I mean, Sony for the longest time, I mean, PS1, 2, and 3 are all have a very weird architecture to them, but they were still super popular because, I mean, they were great systems, had so many games. But, yeah, even the PS2 was designed to be as annoying as possible, like, on purpose.
There's like no PS3 emulation, right? Because of the cell processor.
It's
and
getting
all that.
better, actually.
Really?
I think the PS3 emulator is called RCPSX3, maybe. But it's getting better. It's just like the cell processor in the PS3 is the weirdest thing of all time, and yeah.
How's
Not
it,
much-
Dude, does anyone care about original Xbox emulation? Or do people just get original Xboxes and just hack them?
I think original Xbox emulation doesn't exist because no one has like a dev kit that has like the source code for
wow.
certain things. I'm not exactly sure about that.
It seems like OG Xboxes are easy enough to hack, though.
And I think that's the same thing with Saturn. Saturn emulation is still really bad, and I think it's just mostly because the Saturn is a really weird system, and they have no like documentation to like work off of.
That's right, baby.
In fact, I remember there was a Redditor that had the Xbox dev kit that everyone's looking for. Because you can find, like, there's dev kit tests that look like a normal, like, Xbox. It just usually is, like, clear.
Cool. So kawaii!
Yeah, you can get those dev kits kind of easily, but the ones with, like what they're looking for looks more like a PC tower, and they are so unbelievably rare. But one, like, Redditor had one, and then he was like, I'm gonna mod it. And he, like, ruined everything about it.
What the heck? He should have just been like, who is the most... Like, I'm sure there's someone in the community that's, like, the god of it, and just send it to them and be like, here.
Yeah. There was another one, a really good one, another Redditor, that found the StarCraft Gold Master source code, and he was like, I'm gonna send it back to Blizzard. I have to be a good boy, because they don't have the source code anymore. I'll send it to them.
Hey.
Oh, this is Sunny from MGS4.
What did Blizzard do with it?
They obviously just put it back in the vault. Probably the only source code disc in the world. And I think they gave him a ticket to BlizzCon.
Yay!
And, like, some memorabilia. It's like, yeah, thanks. Thanks, idiot. You could have sold that disc for, like, $50,000.
Well, luckily Blizzard's a company that does everyone right, so...
Yeah, everyone loves him. People love working for him. Or them. They make great products nowadays. Absolutely nothing wrong with ActiveBliz.
Hey! You all have phones, don't you? Remember that?
Dude, that game is still not out. Diablo Immortal,
What?
that mobile phone game, still isn't out.
That had to be like 4 years ago.
Yes! I don't know what is wrong with Blizzard, but every single project that they do, like Overwatch 2 still isn't out. That's been in development for like 5 years.
Dude, Overwatch, I don't know if a ton of people play, but it seems like not a lot of people play that game.
I mean, now they don't. When Overwatch first came out, it was like really popular.
Yeah.
It uses a hybrid lace ramjet engine I designed.
Do you know what game people still play a lot is Destiny 2? Destiny 2 just had like the biggest update ever.
Excellent.
And I only know because of Nate. He plays it, and he's like, everyone's like super happy with it. I'm like, damn, that game
That's
came
good.
out like so long ago.
I know that game went free to play, I think.
I believe so. I think at that point, just because there's so many like, what can you do with vanilla Destiny 2? You know.
My plan is already
That's
set.
why Destiny discs are so
Please
worthless.
switch off all cell phones and portable gaming devices. And remember, this is a no smoking.
Oh, Sonny.
Roger. Ready for countdown.
No time for that. Ignition!
What if Raiden was just like, okay, and then he pulled out a cig and he just started smoking? What's it gonna do? Stunt my growth?
Honestly, I'm surprised that Raiden doesn't imitate Snake's smoking habit, because he just wants to be Snake so bad.
was this a friggin' spacecraft, but also a plane?
Yeah, who cares? I mean, Sunny's like probably like 14 years old. She designed this thing.
Oh
yeah,
my
okay.
god! Wait, is she related to Otacon? I honestly forget.
No, she's Olga's child.
That's right.
Yeah. That's why she's so weird in MGS4 because, I mean, she was effectively like kidnapped by the Patriots and probably did not have the best life. But they just ignore that. She's just normal now, I guess.
Yay! Oh, glad to see they came to a safe landing.
Yeah, they really care at this point. We gotta get to Pakistan. How are we gonna do it? Oh, Sonny built something. Cool.
Do normal planes like not exist? I don't know, whatever. I haven't super been paying attention to the story, so I have nothing to complain about.
Anything?
Where's the girl?
Nothing.
What girl?
Sure we got the
I want to see Washington, I think that's his name, move her cup again.
Contracted out to World Marshal.
All right.
Remember that? That was my favorite scene.
I love the support group. I like the Doctor is cool enough.
Yeah.
The other ones are just so...
They don't exist.
They could just combine all three of them to one person.
I
It'd
know
be the
that
same.
I know that MGS 1 and 2 are like much longer games, but like even a like kind of non-character like Mei Ling is very memorable, you know? And obviously everyone from MGS 2 is ridiculously memorable.
Obviously Platinum just did not have the same priorities.
Of course,
with
of course.
This.
Also, yeah, it is an action game, so you're not stopped every 2 seconds to be told something, so hey. Hey, Raiden. Looks like they're happy to see you. Yeah, let's go. That was kind of awesome. Even though you didn't get the Zenzatsu, that was pretty awesome.
I'm gonna try to do it again.
Oh! Let's go!
At least I got one.
Alright, yeah, that's... Still, that's pretty cool, like, seeing... And the legs are just like, see ya.
Is there still one alive? Oh.
What was that?
He was, like, there and then disappeared?
S. S gone. Let's go.
You see that? Exit code's short.
Oh, dude, I think it's a girl talking. Yeah! Courtney. What do you call her? Washington?
No, Washington's the guy.
Oh, okay.
I actually I remember that. I have no idea how.
They're making it look like Desperado.
If you would have given me 100 chances, I wouldn't have guessed her name.
Everyone knows Desperado has a contract with.
3? It looks like.
It's either 3 or 8. But that's crazy.
Gender, female, height, 165? It's really tough to read.
Any doctor in existence has to sacrifice like a decade off their life to get
Remember WMDs
enough
and
education.
Absolutely based.
It's another slam dunk. What about any humans on the base?
Oh god, I don't care.
And you can't start with like medical school. You have to like go to normal school for something first. Like you have to be like, okay, I got a degree in I don't know, biology, and then it's like, okay, then you can go to medical school. And that's fine. And then you just become a doctor and have $500,000 in debt. But that's okay because everything in the medical industry costs $1 trillion, so it's fine.
Right, and stop posing.
Seriously. Body mass index error. I was reading, speaking of stuff that's kind of similar, well, we actually talked about it earlier, with, like, how ridiculous the housing, everything is. Like, every time I'm reading a thread on that stuff, there's always one person that's like, stop eating out every day, make food at home, stop with the avocado toast, make your coffee at home, save up for a month, boom, there you go. And I'm always like, what boomer wrote this? Like, what literal boomer? Like, you know the show Married with Children? Like, Al was... And I know it's a sitcom, but it's also, like, how things were. he's like a shoe salesman, and he like has a house that like has 3-4 bedrooms in a suburbs, and like that's all the money they get in, and that's enough, you know. So in conclusion, screw everyone.
Yeah, just don't spend any of your money. Have a good job. Get paid a lot of money. Just buy a house, bro.
I just hate that. I hate when people are like, just stop eating out and just have only rice and water every day and stop driving anywhere and da-da-da. And then you'll have I'm like, okay, so you just want to be like a pauper until you get enough to, like, okay? Like, it's not like, oh, don't take trips to Disneyland. That's reasonable, but it's like, don't get a 4 for $4 at Wendy's. You could make broccoli and rice for $1. It's like, okay. I suppose that's the same thing as the boomer that's like, just walk in there, ask to talk to the man. Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, get him! Rip. What? That's BS.
Yeah, for some reason, I never really noticed this when I played the game initially, but when any enemy has armor, you can't do light attacks against them. It's really weird. I just don't understand the
he was like falling down, and it's still... No, but yeah, like I said, that's like the boomer thing where it's like, just walk in, ask to see the manager, give him a firm handshake, and say you're ready to work anytime. It's like, yeah, at like McDonald's. But even at fast food places, they're like, I don't know if you noticed, but they're like, open interviews Tuesday at 2, and like they just hire on the spot because like everywhere is so just understaffed. Like Sheets pays minimum $15 an hour, which like isn't the greatest job in the world and not the greatest pay in the world. I get it, but like, you know, it's not minimum wage, and yet they're like always just so short-staffed. It just sucks.
I mean, dude, if you wanted me to work at Sheets or Wawa or something, more than $15, bro.
I guess that's true.
That seems like just such a grind. It's like working at a factory. It's like, if I'm working at a factory, I want to be paid $30 an hour at least.
I think factories are usually like $20 an hour.
Still not enough. Oh no, not this guy.
Especially not for the wear and tear on your body. At least at a Sheets, it's just like
it's
walking
wear
around.
and tear. It's so monotonous.